Hello, and welcome to episode 149 of Concealed Taco Dudes with Taco.
Hello.
Jason.
Hello.
And me. Well, hello. Oh, my. Yeah, welcome.
All right, today we're in the Taco Studios, and we are celebrating what do you call it? Man-Day number 2?
Mandate.
Yeah.
Mandate.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Grandpa Day.
But let's go ahead and let's hit our sponsors real fast. Go through noebulletmolds.com. Use coupon code FLT001 and it'll save you 10%. They do have one Dylan 750 press in stock right now, unless Stan's going to buy that. We don't know. But they are the makers of the finest bullet molds and reloading equipment around.
Indeed.
And now, do we get any more of a discount than just the standard 10% code?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Al. Nudge, nudge,
Yeah,
wink, wink.
Al, do you know who
Al.
I am?
Don't you know?
Do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I am the Stan.
No, nobody knows who I am. Nobody.
You just have to walk up to him and say, I'm the guy, and then, now it's time for the news. Yeah.
I
You have
walked
to do
in
that
there.
and say, oh, I know who you are.
I bought some powder from him a little while ago, and walked in to get it. And I'm going, I'm Stan. He goes, I know who you are. Because he looked at me kind of like, yeah, well, yeah. And I go, yeah. So I'm Stan. I was, I do the podcast with Taco. He goes, I know who you are. So I misread him. But anyway.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though. He's got a lot of powder. He's got a lot of, he has Lee, which is the best brand ever. It's the
we always
Kidding.
say Dylan with the 10%, but you could get Lee reloading stuff with the 10% discount. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com.
Use coupon code SLICKERY.
My brain is like 2 steps behind everything right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, use the code SLICKERY and it won't change anything.
He'll give you a nod and a wink.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, the finest gun finishes out there. Teflon coating, hydro dipping, Cerakoting, I think even powder coating.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You don't powder coat gun parts, but he'll do other things other than gun parts.
Yeah, he does everything. But check them out. Follow them on social media so you can see what they're doing. They are always posting amazing stuff.
Yeah, when we get to the section of what we do with guns, then maybe we could talk about how Stan needs to take a certain something to Black Ice to
Hey,
get
you've got one too, and you haven't done it yet, so off my back.
It's because I keep using it.
Well, I'm going to use mine too. I won't have time to do that.
Yeah.
You know how often I shoot?
Yeah. About 5 times as much as Jason.
And
Utah Air
about a
Guns.
10th as much as you. Utah Air Guns. Go.
Utah Air Guns. You can find them at utahairguns.com. I was there this week, dropping off some more air tank caddies.
Nice.
They're moving through those pretty good. It's nice.
Hey, are you selling
Good
your toilet paper roll holders?
I am not.
Okay.
I have posted pictures of them on on my social media. So yeah,
I like it.
And that has to do with air guns.
I just had to throw that out there.
So I'll just mention that air guns are super fun. If you are one of those guys who doesn't like to shoot outside, then you can always, and you're located in Utah, you can just go to their air gun range.
Yeah.
And shoot in a nice heated building.
And it's a cool range.
It is.
Yeah.
So
I have to say there is a niche, and I'm ashamed that I haven't picked one up yet.
we need to.
But there is a niche, especially if you got rodents and stuff in your backyard.
Oh,
One of my neighbors has one, and he goes, I got to show you this. This is the coolest thing ever. It's an air gun that you pump up the tank. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen one. Yeah, I got it from this place up in Orem. I go, yeah, Utah Air Guns. And he goes,
You just
you've
burst
seen
his-
it? I know.
Just took the wind out of his
And then I
sails.
said, yeah, if you go in and look on the wall, the Wall of Fame,
I've signed it.
there's a Concealed Taco Dudes sticker.
Yeah.
I've signed it.
Yeah.
So have you. Yeah.
I have to.
And he just kind of went, oh. Well, still, come over and see it. It's cool.
What air gun did you get? Was it like an FX or was it the Air Force?
It had a tank on the front.
Stan, the one who knows everything about air guns now is
The
like,
trigger
Yeah.
thingy.
Yeah.
it's got a trigger.
Yeah.
You pull it and
It might have been in
shoots.
the FX. Well, no, it wasn't. It was below $1,000. I think he only
Okay.
paid
It wasn't an
So
FX.
was it? Well,
700
okay.
something like that.
We don't have to.
There's a lot of things.
yeah. There's a lot of good
Price.
stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, Utah Air Guns.
Yeah. Use the code AirCandy. You get free shipping and free turret stickers.
All right.
And they're building a new
What
website,
stickers?
by the way, that looks freaking awesome.
Turret. Oh,
turret.
turret.
Yeah.
That's turret.
Turret.
What did I say?
I didn't want to repeat it. Some kind of other stickers. But what did you say after that?
Yeah.
Mag holder, magholder.com. Horizontal mag carriers for everyday concealed carry. There are tons of options on there now. He's got a
some
lot of
tactical
other
belts
gear
and
and
some
stuff
other
like
stuff.
that. Also, so go check them out. Use the code Get in the Van. I have candy. That'll save you a ton of money. And Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com.
Now, is that a metric ton or is that a standard ton?
We're going to go with standard since
Standard
we're
ton
not
of
in
money.
Europe.
You have a good point.
I do. Anyway, check out concealmentsolutions.com. Always working on new stuff. If you don't see what you're looking for, build custom stuff
Yeah. Knife
all the
sheaths,
time. Knife
holsters.
sheaths.
I just picked up a new holster.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm very pleased with it.
For your grand power.
Yeah, my Grand Power 10 millimeter, and I'm gonna get those straps for it
Yes.
sometime.
I should have them in the next few days.
I think with 14 rounds at 10 millimeter, or you could do 14 plus one.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
It's
That's
significant.
a good. Yeah, good gun for the outdoors when
Yeah.
you're worried about cougars and the black bears. So
Stan always
Stan's
giggles when
like,
you say cougar. Cougar.
No, it's. Kitty wants some candy. I can't help it.
yeah. So very pleased with mine. I gave Jason the choice or option to use whatever Kydex colors, patterns, and so he went with black on the inside and then that carbon fiber on the
Black carbon
outside.
fiber.
Yeah.
Because I know if you were going to pick it for yourself, it would just be plain black.
Yeah, I said earth tones would be fine or whatever.
And I just went, this is what's going to keep us both happy.
Yes.
I didn't make
So it
just a
does
plain
look
black
fancier
one.
than what I would have picked.
The black carbon fiber really does look classy.
It does. I like that the touch of it too.
Yeah,
Like it
it's got
feels-
some texture to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels smooth.
It classes it up. My new landlord he came by and was talking about holsters. I don't remember if I mentioned this before on the podcast or not, but when I was looking at the place, he showed me, when he knew what I was doing, he showed me what he's carrying his shield in. Total floppy, like $5 gun show special.
Uncle Mike's.
It wasn't even that
Not
nice.
even that. Wow.
And he's like, this is great, but I don't carry all the time anyway, and da-da-da-da-da. And then he came in and decided, well, maybe, because I carry outside the waist, concealed with my 365, and he's like, yours rides really close to the body. And I'm like, yeah, on purpose. And he's like, well, maybe, how much is one? And da-da-da-da. And, they're $70. And he's like, oh. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, just take it off my rent. And he's like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And I said, what color do you want? He's like, oh, just black. I just want black.
Did you show him?
Yeah, I showed
All
him
the other
some
stuff.
and he's like, no, I just want black. And so I did the black carbon fiber, and I said, dude, you're classier than just black. and then he ordered one for his business partner, and then he ordered a belt also.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See, that's what you gotta do. Once you just, it's like the drug pusher, right?
Yeah.
The first one's
First
on
one's
me.
free.
Well, here's the thing is
And then once they get it and they use it and they're like, oh, this is what
Now I
a
understand.
non-Uncle Mike's holster
Yeah.
feels like.
Well, he was like, he put it on. He's like, wow, this is really great. And, the next day he comes in, he's like, I am liking this way more than I thought I would. I said, I'd like to tell you I'm surprised, but I'm not.
It does make a difference.
It makes a
Yeah,
huge difference.
sure.
And that's when, after that, I was like, I'm not just trying to sell you more stuff, but your belt makes a huge difference on how it carries. And the belt you have isn't great. Oh, I've had this for years. And I'm like, I
it's
can
like
tell.
It's a soft leather belt. That's
Exactly. Exactly. It was like curling over, and I'm like, dude, there's good belts out there. You don't have to buy one of mine. I know mine are expensive, but they're on a different level.
You can get away with that with a smaller, lighter gun, but
Yeah.
especially with a
when it's a
heavier
heavy
gun.
one and
Right.
it's got a double stack mag and it's loaded,
Right.
like that 10 millimeter.
Oh yeah.
Then you gotta have a
need
good
something
belt.
Good. So anyway,
Or the chest
He didn't even
harness.
hesitate. He's like, get me a belt, because I told him, you know how surprised you were with how great the holster was compared to your other one. He's like, yeah. I said, it's gonna be the same thing with the belt. He's like, okay, order one.
Awesome. Order one.
Well,
and you do custom stuff too.
yeah, I don't make my belts in my
Oh,
shop.
you don't?
No,
Okay, that's right.
I have my leather guy make them for me. That's my design with the stiffener and everything, but he builds them for me.
Awesome.
Anyway, that was a long commercial for myself.
Is there
Sorry.
a code? Is there
There is a
Jason?
code. Show me the candy.
Show
We'll
me
save
the
you 15%. And coming up, actually, this might post late. I'm not going to say anything. Delete
Oh.
that.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, that's our sponsors.
Okay. Let's hop right into a news story. After
Okay.
the news, we'll hit the what we did with guns.
Okay.
And now, the news.
Woo!
I guess you tapped me to do this one today. Franklin police were dispatched to the residence on Park Avenue at 3:25 a.m. Wednesday.
Ooh.
The station said...
That's the late one compared to what we've normally
Yeah.
had.
So the last one was it 6 a.m.?
I think it was 9 a.m. in the morning, and then
Yeah,
there was
it's-
another one that was like 6 in
It
the
used to
evening.
be. Yeah. It used to be always like in these odd hours, like
Right.
1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Which, if you're a smart criminal...
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now we've had them during the day, the afternoon,
Yeah.
like 6 a.m. Like,
Early evening. Yeah.
Yes, so
crazy.
you have to always be ready. Anyways.
So Lieutenant Brian Pacifico confirmed to WXIX, Jeffrey Carl, 36 years old, of Franklin, allegedly broke into the home, after which the homeowner shot him in the buttocks.
You got a Forrest Gump shot.
Police told the station Carl fled on foot after K9 found him hiding in a shed in a different yard.
How fast do you think he was able to run?
Well,
I'm saying it's more of a limp, a Marty Feldman Igor limp.
but the adrenaline will keep you moving fairly normal for a little while. But yeah.
Well, actually, no. Usually criminals or these guys, they get hunted. You probably didn't see his blood. Because as soon as they see blood, they curl up in a ball and, I'm it.
Yeah.
They're big bad A's until they get hit with something.
Unless they're pumped full of drugs.
Yeah,
there's that.
true.
There is that. Carl was taken to Atrium.
Carl?
Carl. Yeah, his name was Carl. To Atrium Medical Center.
So this Carl actually shares a commonality with Carl.
Well,
that we
it's
know.
Jeffrey Carl.
Yeah, I know.
not
I'm just
Carl.
saying Carl and Carl,
Yeah,
they both had extra buttholes.
Oh, wow. You went there. Yeah. Cornholio.
It didn't say on this guy whether he got shot through the side. He could have had 2 extra.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
true.
generally somewhere in the buttocks.
Yeah.
Said Carl was taken to Atrium Medical Center with life-threatening injuries and is being charged with burglary. Burglary. Like nuclear or nuclear. Let's see. Later, the suspect was taken to the police department, and Carl also has a failure to appear warrant out of Franklin Municipal Court. So,
So that means he's in prison, and he's going to have to sleep face down.
yes. I don't get it.
Oh, I don't either. Well, what are you talking about, Jason?
That's...
I saw this one on YouTube as well, or a short YouTube short. They were talking about it.
This guy?
I think it was an older guy that shot him. Yeah,
What'd he shoot him with, did it say?
didn't say.
Hopefully a grand. Oh, man.
that'd blow-
30-06 in the buttocks.
Now that
gosh.
would blow through your lung or through the.
That would go
buttock.
through both cheeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Probably a handgun.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Extra hole. Oh, man.
Cornholio.
Okay, let's go around and what we did with guns. And I guess, yeah, after that, then we'll talk about kind of our topic, which is Stan and me, what we did in our shooting,
Oh,
our
wow.
8-hour shooting extravaganza.
Marathon. Yeah. So it was me and you and
Couple friends,
yeah. Okay.
a new gun owner and a young gun owner.
Immigrant.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
the new one was the immigrant. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he was the old.
Well, he's newer to guns.
see.
That was his first gun. Ever.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
Anyways,
You know what? I don't know that I did anything other than working on some new holster designs.
all right.
Yeah. And then what we did today, we went to Gunny's.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that first.
You want to talk about the mandate?
Yeah, let's talk about mandate.
Let's not call it a date. Let's just say an outing, shall we?
Man outing.
Yes. Or adventure, Manventure.
Manventure.
Okay, that's better.
Okay,
The
Manventure.
Manventure.
All right.
Although, yeah, go ahead.
Today, Jason, Stan, and I, we went to a couple different stores together and had a good Manventure. And we bought a couple different things. We stopped by our local, you never know what they're going to have store, NPS.
NPS. What does NPS stand for?
Nice place to save.
That's pretty good.
I've never known, but it's actually National Product Sales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
National product sales. All right.
The local radio station was doing a sort of a advertisement, or they did their show in the store yesterday.
Okay.
I just heard that, but it's National Product Sales.
All right. So, Jason, what did you get, or what did you find?
So, I found a nice little Japanese kitchen knife.
It's not little.
It's not big.
Kind of big.
I don't know. It's kind of a mid-size.
When you say small or little, I think like a paring knife.
Okay,
or something.
it's bigger than that.
Yeah, it's
like a chef's knife, but
kind of like a cleaver style, but
Kinda.
not as.
it's not pointy. It's clipped off on the front, which I kind of like. And the handle's nice and high, so you can chop without getting your fingers.
It's got like a nice rectangular blade.
Yeah, and it was. I was surprised how sharp the edge was.
Yeah. So
Out of the
Jason
box.
got one, and so I
Yeah,
had. I
I looked them up online, and they're going for like $40 or $50, and these were marked at 15, and then we get to the register, and they're like, "Oh, kitchen stuff is 20% off."
Yeah.
or 25. So it was like under $12.
Yeah, I think it's
with
like
tax.
$10 or something.
Something like that. Yeah. So
Which is great if you don't have 100 knives, but if you just throw one more knife in the drawer, I don't know if your knife drawer is like ours.
Well, for me,
Stuffed full.
yeah, it's an opportunity to throw a nicer knife in, and then take
eliminate something else.
yeah, and then throw it in the scout trailer.
Yeah.
There
so
you
they
go.
got
So
Yeah,
I had
very good
dual
point.
purpose for this because I have a sheath that I made for one of my custom it's not a neck knife, it's almost like a Skinner that my knife making buddy makes, but it's just the sheath. It's super thin Kydex. It's totally minimalist. There's no attaching points or anything. It's basically just a blade protector that it slides into. And I sent him a picture of it, and I said, "Hey, when you sell your kitchen knives, we should be shipping them with these on them because it protects it.
Yeah.
And especially
It's
if
like
you
a
did it in,
high-end
like the carbon
knife
fiber.
maker.
Yeah,
and he's shipping it with what?
all of them
Just with
with
cardboard,
like cardboard
right?
taped
Yeah.
around the blade.
So
Is usually how they show up. And it's not just him. It's guys that are doing, $2,500. You spend $2,500 on a knife and it shows up. Some of the guys, they'll ship them in like a nice like gift box type display box and stuff like that. But most of those guys don't do anything. And I thought that's a really inexpensive thing that you could add to it that would add a ton of value.
yeah,
I didn't have any of my kitchen knives that my wife's going to let me take down to the shop and mess with. So that was part of the reason why I bought it. At least that's what I'm telling everyone.
you know what?
So I can make one of those.
Let's make a deal. Since we got the same knife,
Yeah.
if you make the little blade cover for me, make one for me,
Okay.
and then I will do a video on YouTube to
Okay.
show it.
All right.
So look for that.
Up and coming,
Yeah.
perfect Christmas.
But then
present.
after I paid for that, I was looking behind the register and they had all these Bic lighters. And they had the little
short ones, yeah.
And I was like,
Big minis.
yeah. I was like, wait, how much are those? $2.99
for a pack
three
of
of them.
4,
There's three of
Three
them.
of 'em.
So it wasn't
so a buck each.
like a killer deal, but it wasn't expensive either. And so I bought 2 packs of those because they fit my camp stove. The fuel canister goes in my pot, and because the stove is the fuel bottle's concave, I put a little green scrubby pad in there and my lighter. and then the stove goes on top of that, and then the lid, and it's all contained.
So I
in
know
there.
this is superfluous, but what is your stove and what is your pot? Just out of curiosity, Emma.
So the pot is Optimus is the brand.
Titanium?
Those aren't titanium. I do have a titanium cup that
Gotcha.
is pretty cool.
It's a gadget thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the stove?
The
Which stove did you
stove, I bought the stove years ago from Sportsman's. I think it's like a Brunton. It's not like one of the big brands. I paid $26 for it, and the thing has been going for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues with it.
So do you use those like in the outdoors, or do you in your truck, or what?
I do. I have a little get home bag. I've got a BRS. It's a titanium, the $13 stove off of Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
You can still, they're about 16 or 18 now.
Yeah.
Weighs 25 grams.
Yeah.
And you use the same thing. I don't go with the titanium.
What type of fuel pack does it use?
any of the
Just those.
the isopropane,
Yeah.
isobutane,
Yeah.
wherever you can find them. But there's the bigger and the smaller one. You get one that nests in your mug. And I just think it's a gadget thing. I'm totally into that. But more than once I've stopped somewhere and made some hot cocoa
On the side of the road.
Yeah, well,
Stand squatting down on the
if I
side
was
of the
broken
freeway.
No, I've broken down
Making his
more
cup of noodles.
more than once. Broken down and
Have
used
a
one. Yeah,
nice cup of soup or cocoa or something.
yeah. We have guys that have been stuck 24 hours out on the Sisters in Wyoming.
Oh,
And,
nice.
and you idle your tractor, and diesels don't run as hot as gasoline engines. And if you have 50-mile-an-hour winds blowing in on your radiator, some of the independent guys have you'll see like a vinyl thing or something they'll put over the front of them, and we'll throw cardboard in sometimes, just throw it behind the grill, and it'll warm it up for us. But I know a guy that went out in a pair of shorts and all he had was a vest, not thinking it'd break down, and was there 22 hours. He said he about froze to death. So I take a blanket and something to eat, MRE, and
That guy
extra
is
water
an
and
idiot. Just
Well,
for the record.
in his defense, he was sitting in the yard, shifting in Salt Lake, and it was like 60 degrees, and dispatch goes, "Hey, we got an extra trailer going to Wamsutter." He goes, "I'll do it," and that's all he had with him, and you don't go out. And
He didn't
lesson
show
learned.
up to work planning on doing that.
No, and it's extra money, especially during Christmas. Everybody's trying to make some extra money. And
Sure.
you get out there. So, but it's just cool to have those little gadgets, and
yeah.
they're not heavy, they're not big, and
Yeah.
I mean, you could cook 5 or 6 meals with one of those mini canisters.
Oh, more than that.
Boil water and cook.
That's what I bring.
I do the dehydrated
Yeah.
stuff too.
Yeah, that's what I bring bike packing, and I use the small canisters because that's my pot's smaller
for sure.
And I've probably this year I spent probably 7 or 8 days at least out using that, and the year before was more than that.
Yeah.
And cooking 1 to 2 meals at least on it, and I've replaced the canister once.
So I fooled around. I fooled around with the penny stoves, the pop can stoves
I have a
with
bunch
alcohol.
of those too.
Well, we used to carry on our tractors airline antifreeze,
Right.
which is alcohol.
Right.
And so whenever we had there, every tractor had like a half-gallon bottle. And so I just make a couple of those, and that used to go in my bag. But we don't carry it anymore, but that's an easy, quick.
Yeah.
I even made little.
I'll have to
heaters
take a
out
look
of
at
it, too.
the stove you're talking about, the titanium one.
BRS.
Yeah, I have one of the jet boils.
I have too.
That's what we use for backpacking. But
The only thing I don't like about the jet boils is they're bulkier.
Yeah, big and bulky.
You have to use their pot.
Yeah, I took one of those when.
But it does all fold up all together.
Yeah.
It
But
does,
Mm-hmm.
but my whole system is tiny.
Yeah.
It's
How big
about
is your
half
cup?
the size of a jet boil.
500 milliliter or
I don't remember.
pretty small though.
It's I think I can boil a cup and a half of water in it in my pot, and then the cup or whatever is also the lid, and
Yes.
looks like a miniature frying pan. I've never used it for anything but a lid.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, that's just a gadget thing. But,
Yeah.
so
So anyway,
what?
that's what I got.
So we're still on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're still on what we did with guns, right?
This is ManVenture.
Oh, ManVenture.
The ManVenture.
Well, we also after MPS went to Gunny's, the Great American Gun Store. our local.
Well, I wasn't done with what I got at NPS.
I'm
Did
sorry.
you?
Not get anything at NPS?
No, I'm
Dan?
not buying any of that crap.
Yeah, we talked you out of a couple things.
Fall off the tractor. No,
They did have okay.
I blew my
It was
budget.
a bit of a lean day at NPS.
I blew my budget on the store we went to before NPS.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So I actually got a couple things, right? I got one of those knives that Jason got, the kitchen knives, and that looks like that'll be a good knife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I did get
Can't go wrong for the price.
a Lyman loading tray, and that one it's nice because it's like 5x10 like holes, so that it actually holds.
Isn't that a nice
50
cube?
rounds of
Is it a nice
We were
cube
trying
tray?
to convince the checkout guy that it was a kitchen item. It was a round ice cube tray, but he just laughed and didn't go for that. But yeah, so this one will handle the larger calibers like 4570, and so I've been needing a 4570 tray that holds 50 rounds instead of I had this one that holds like 45 or something. It's like drives me crazy because it's like 5 off.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this will make me happy. I got a Hornady shell holder number 43, and that one is the 338 Lapua. So I'm trying to get ramped up to load for that. I got the brass, got some bullets, got some powder.
Do you have a 338?
Yeah, I have one I bought like 4 years ago, and I haven't shot it yet. I got it on a really good deal. It's
Of
like a
course you-
Savage.
of
It's got the
course you
red
did.
the red trigger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I ended up getting the scope based this week, but the screws are too skinny. So I'm going to talk to.
Too skinny, meaning the
They're too
placement
small.
or
No, the placement was perfect.
Okay.
It's just they're too small of screws, so they don't
the
screw.
thread.
Yeah, the thread.
Okay.
So
wrong threads.
I got an EGW one, and so I'll just call it them, or I'll call them up and then see if they have the fatter screws for the bigger action and stuff. And I also got they had the most random things. They had a 50 cal Desert Eagle magazine.
Yeah.
And I could have bought it, but I didn't because I already have 2 mags, and it's not the type of gun where you need like 10 mags.
Yeah.
Unless you do.
Unless you do, right? Unless you carry that for like hog hunting or something. I don't know, but I do have 2 mags already, and it's been enough.
Or unless a cougar attacks you on a bow hunt. Did you see that YouTube of the cougar attacking the guy?
I saw the one where the guy was climbing the cliff,
Oh, no,
and
that
a
was a
bear
bear.
came
Yeah.
and he like kind of throws the bear off the cliff, and then the bear kind of comes like
back up
and
after
he
him.
starts kicking at him. Yeah, that's nuts. But
So let me see this.
yeah, I got a seating stem for the Hornady 22 caliber like VLDs.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
ELD match and AMAXs.
Yeah, so
I may have to borrow this one.
you might. Because the reason they make these is so that it doesn't put that ring on your bullets, you know.
Yeah.
It fits the bullet shape a little bit
And
better.
the ELDs and AMAXs are really long and slender, especially
Yeah.
in 22.
So, anyways, that's what I got. At
You made a
NPS.
haul, actually. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I got a decent amount of stuff that was good. It was like random stuff that you would never really expect to find at a discount store, but yeah.
Well, it all goes on a truck and it all falls off something on a truck. That's where they get it all from.
Stan, we appreciate your assistance in that.
That's how it works.
It comes from UPS, a lot of the stuff.
So yeah. Anyways, we went to Gunny's.
We did?
Yes.
We went to Gunny's.
And that's one of our favorite local shops, gun shops.
They
here
were
in Utah.
crazy busy.
Yeah.
I know. What was it? It was just Saturday, or like pre-Christmas
I don't
starting,
know, but it was.
or Thanksgiving, or
Yeah, it's not like they were running any kind of special deals
No
or anything
crazy
that I
sales.
could see.
Although their prices have come down
The prices
on
were
certain things.
and they
Yeah.
had a ton of everything.
Yeah. Ammo.
yeah, they did have small pistol primers,
They did.
large pistol primers.
I bet they don't now.
and
but
small rifle, and anyways, they had I was surprised they had Federals.
$100 for 1,000. They're 90
It was
something.
90, I think, but
Yeah.
Plus tax, yeah. Change.
I think that's still cheaper than the, what would you call it, the scalping rate,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what that is.
the classified rate, but
Yeah.
you know, is I'm glad that they provide that.
They
those
actually
products and services.
I have to say are the best stocked of any store I've seen in Utah.
They
Yeah.
really
Bar
are.
none. At least in our valley down here.
And the reloading components, like bullet wise and bullet selection, they have so
The store
many.
just needs to be bigger. Everything is so
They need to
packed
cut.
in there.
They need to cut Western wear in half and turn it into like a reloading section.
But it's like that's packed over there too. I've only kind of looked over there. I've never really wandered over there, but they have a ton of stuff over there.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. But there weren't very many people in
There was
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
they
buy-
should rent the office space in that little mall, the strip mall.
Yeah.
Like turn that into Gunny's Western wear.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then have
That's
the
not a
gun
bad idea.
store.
You
and
sure
then
do.
you can see if the Western wear is actually a feasible, like.
It is. And they have decent prices on that stuff too. I bought Cheryl some boots and shirts and stuff.
I got,
like that.
yeah, and I did buy my cowboy work boots there.
Yeah, they have a good price on it.
And those have taken a beating and still
Yeah.
go. My Ariats.
But so then we wandered into the gun section, and lo and behold, a rifle just
it jumped out.
Leapt
cried
into
out.
Stan's
And it
arms.
jumped into Stan's arms, and it said, "Take me home, take me home."
well, it was. This is like the Harry Potter wand. This is what I was prescribed to get.
Yeah, that specific one too,
Yeah.
right? Because it was the store display model.
That's right.
And the same one that jumped into his arms is the one that he
I
ended
came
up.
home with. Now I've been shopping for this. I've been in there multiple times, and they were out of them, and the price actually dropped
So
$30.
$30.
yeah,
Yeah.
tell us what you got.
This is the Ruger American Predator in 223 with the detachable box magazine.
Yes, it takes the AR-15 mags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great little gun. You've got one.
Yeah. And mine
Almost as good as mine.
well. That's to be determined. Mine is newer.
It is.
And it has more
Well, it
experience.
has a lower number on it, a lower serial number. I'm not sure if it's newer.
Yeah,
Who knows?
we'll see.
And the stock on Stan's is way more refined.
It's more centered.
That plastic stock
And
is a little more refined.
it is.
They shaved
Refined
off all the
plastic.
molding little lips and
Yes,
everything.
and the barrel is more centered than. Well, I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to rub it in or anything, but it is a little more centered than yours.
Oh, is it?
No, again, I've wanted one of these for a long time, and
You
they have a
wanted
great
one
price.
ever since you shot mine, and we were shooting 500 yards, like ting ting.
Well,
ting.
it wasn't so much that as because I have a Ruger M77, but I just wanted one with a
223.
detachable box magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
the fact that it takes AR-15 mags is just awesome, because then you look at some of the other box-fed magazine guns and
Mossberg specifically.
Yeah, the magazines are not cheap, but like an AR-15 mag, oh man, you can get those like
I've got stacks of
$10, whatever,
Yeah.
and you've
$8.
got 50 different options of which
Yeah.
one you want.
I think I'm going to put a what is it? The A65, the Magpul 100-round drum on it.
That's
Yeah,
you got to get the beta mag.
Yeah.
Dude, how long would that take you to like empty that beta mag?
Let me see. 1, 2. Yeah, it'd take a while, but hey, it'd work, right?
It'd be your gun. You'd never have to load it.
Yeah,
a
you
whole
load it
year. You
once.
could shoot it all year.
If you go
never
out to
have
like
load
a
it.
a ground squirrel place and just set up and then just go all day.
Isn't that what they said about the Henry lever actions back in
the day?
Was it like
No, it
Civil
wasn't.
War
It was
times?
the
You load
the
it in the
Gatling
morning
guns?
and shoot it all
it was
day.
the Sharps. It was the Sharps.
Was it the Sharps?
Yeah,
I
'cause you-
swear it was a lever action.
Well, it had a
The Sharps?
handle on the boat. Yeah, and it had the rimfire cartridges. Lincoln was the one that said that you could shoot it all day, something like that. Anyway,
Load it in
you
the
can't
morning
have
and
too many
shoot it all
223 rifles. I've got a bunch of ARs. I've got another bolt gun, and it's just a great round.
Yeah.
Inexpensive to shoot, accurate.
So I would say
practice.
for the dollar and how well they shoot for the dollar is pretty incredible.
Do you know what the twist rate is on the barrel?
7.
1 in 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So these ones allow you to shoot the heavy ones.
that's what I was wondering.
so
That's
you
another thing.
we got to try. We'll see if it'll work. But those 88 grainers, the VLD.
Yes. I overlooked that
Or
completely.
ELDX.
That's
Yeah.
another reason, because the M77 is 1 in 14 or 1 in it's maybe 1 in 12.
Yeah, so you could shoot those.
It's more for
really-
the lighter bullets.
Yeah, what would be fun to do with the M77 would be to load up some of those 36 grainers or 40 grainers,
Yeah.
and then just get those things, kind of like a mini 22 250, but in just a 223.
I've done that. The 40 grain VMAX.
Yeah, how fast did you get those going? Like
34,
34?
something like that. But it'll explode a rabbit.
Oh yeah.
You can cut it in half.
Yeah.
Under 100 yards.
Yeah, so it'd be fun to
And it just goes.
yeah, depending on the throat of these, you know how long of
Yeah.
a throat it has.
Yeah.
To seat those VLDs or ELDs out.
Do you have a bullet comparator?
I don't.
I do.
I usually just take a fired case.
Yeah, you can do it that way too.
Or you take a sized case and then make a little cut with a Dremel, and then so the bullet can
Set the
move.
bullet
And
in,
then
yeah. But I've got the Hornady comparator, the whole 9 yards, and you seat them 15 to 20 thousandths off. And that's, I'm sorry. That's where you want it.
Yeah.
15 to 12. So I've been told.
Yeah, it depends. Some bullets, like I think what are those called? The burger.
Yeah.
Oh, so the burger VLDs, those sometimes like to be jammed. So you have them kissing the.
I'd say every gun is kind of different.
Yeah.
You need to play around with it, but
You find a good powder for consistency and accuracy, and then you can play around with bullet seating depth to match it specifically for your gun.
So it probably top priority was the faster twist. I did want the magazine as well, and for the money, you just can't get both of those things any cheaper than this.
Yeah.
So
$530. That's
good times.
It is good times, and the barrel is cold hammer forged. It's a little bit thicker than the skinny Ruger American, the standard ones, and the barrels are threaded, which is nice. We shot mine with a suppressor on it, and it was not even a great suppressor. It was that one Odin Works,
Yeah,
the
it's
Baja
fantastic.
5.56.
Yeah.
And you could shoot it without hearing protection.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we, shot accurately and stuff. And it's funny because I was just using some 55 grain or 62 grain, I think, that time. Just some 62 grain standard AR-15 loads for whatever. And we were hitting all the steel targets all the way up to 500 yards with it. So anyways, it's a really good training gun. And
Yeah.
also, like I'd mentioned with the young men's group or the scouts, you take them out and they want to shoot something and act like a sniper. You put a decent scope on it, and then they feel like they're a sniper because they're shooting these targets that are way out there. And most of these kids haven't shot 100 yards, let alone 500 yards. And so when you drive the target out, they're like, "Wait, what? We're gonna shoot at that? Like, how are we gonna hit that?" Like, no problem. And then you set them up and you can dial, or you can teach them about holdovers or dialing, and then they pull the trigger and they hit that target way out there. They feel like a sniper, and they're actually 500 yards is a decent distance, and I'd say you're probably pushing limits of the 223 cartridge. I've shot some out to about 1,000, but those are really hard to tell if they're hitting it.
The wind would do.
Yeah,
blow it all over.
But it's a great cartridge because it only takes about 25 grains of powder, and it's
components are cheaper
components.
though, too.
Yeah, the projectiles are way
brass
cheaper.
is plentiful.
You can buy the fancy bullets like the Hornady ELDXs or whatever, and they're quite a bit cheaper than the 30 cals or the 6.5s or stuff like that. So it's a good training cartridge, and so which makes that gun a really good gun. And plus, I can't wait for a new stock to come out for it, but they actually do shoot fine as is. It's just I'm not a fan of the Savage / Ruger / etc. plastic stocks. They just they feel crappy.
That's what keeps the price
But that
down.
keeps the price
Exactly.
down.
I was gonna say they're fine for the price.
And it gets more people out there. Gets more people shooting.
And shooting accurately. You think about the custom guns from, say, 10 years ago compared to these newly manufactured cheap guns, the bottom shelf guns. You get a Ruger American or a Savage, and these things shoot better than a lot of the custom rifles back then.
Well, especially if you're reloading your own ammo, because you can tune it for sure.
But the out of the box shooting is great. We live in some good times as far as machine work and precision stuff. So, anyways, but yeah, that's what we did with at Gunny's. I got approached by a couple of the the workers, and they're like, "Hey, we're putting you to work." And there's a guy who had some reloading questions and about reloading dies. He was getting into. He wanted to reload accurate loads in his 308 for a semi-auto, and he had a SIG Cross.
There you go.
Yeah, and so I was talking to him about the different dies and seating and crimping in 2 different stages, and how some people there's always that online debate of crimping for a bolt action or not, but I do like to crimp on the semi-autos.
I overheard you saying that, and I'm going, I don't crimp mine and I didn't hear that he was wanting it for semi-auto.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually used non-crimped and had no trouble.
Yeah,
in fact, my 5.56 or 2.23 in an AR, I've never had any trouble.
Yeah,
but you can.
You can. Have trouble. And the one thing too is like it's all about neck tension, but then explaining neck tension versus just the just a little rule of hey, if it's semi-auto, you just put a light crimp on or whatever. Then
and to explain, the trouble would be pushing the bullet back into the action, which if it then
increases your pressure,
increase the pressure, and if it actually goes in and seats and closes, and then you fire it, it does increase that pressure.
Yeah, so, and the other thing too that can happen is if it doesn't have very good neck tension, when it chambers and stops all of a sudden, it could pull the bullet a little bit.
Yeah,
and you could have some just inconsistencies of your, because your bullet seating depth is actually not the real seating depth once it gets pulled out. So just a couple things, if your neck tension is good enough, that's okay. The crimp sometimes is nice to get a consistent.
Is there a disadvantage to crimping for a bolt gun?
If you over crimp, then some people say that'll mess up your consistency also.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, in general, consistency. If I'm not sure if the amount of tension makes the difference as much as consistency, and for the depending on what kind of crimp too. If it's a taper or a roll crimp, it could make a difference.
Or a collet style crimp.
A collet.
Yeah, that's like a Lee factory crimp die.
Oh yeah, collet. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, collet. Yeah. No.
Just call it.
Well, so the roll crimp would make a difference if your cases aren't exactly the same length because they roll in a further distance.
Yes.
Whereas with the taper or the collet, it doesn't so much matter the length of your
the taper, it still does, though, because if you have a longer brass,
I guess it would.
The only one that it doesn't matter as much is
the collet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So
anyway, so that decreases consistency. For accuracy, consistency is the thing.
Consistency, and that's where you'd want to make sure you have the same type of brass, the same head stamp. I mean, if you're really going for accurate loads, you want the same head stamp, and you want to trim it to the same length. You want to just do everything as consistent as possible.
You can even weigh the cases and weigh the projectiles and group them, to the ones that are closer.
Mm-hmm.
So you can delve even deeper than that. You can do neck trimming and
neck turning.
Neck turning.
Yeah, to make sure that the brass thickness is the same too. There's a lot of things you can do, but in the end, it depends. If you're shooting a 12-inch steel plate at like 100 yards, you could have some really crappy ammo in it.
That's actually
the target.
What's really interesting about reloading. You can delve into it as deep as you want, be as meticulous and scientific as you want, or you can just slap something in there and shoot an inch and you're good.
Yeah,
so
it just depends on what the goal is.
Yeah, and
accurate for one person is definitely different than accurate for another. Mm-hmm. Like I've taken people shooting, and I have a 9mm SBR, right, AR-15. It's got a red dot. It's sighted in really well, but I will shoot a variety of ammo through it, and 9mm ammo is not going to group like a rifle.
Right.
But because they're shooting at targets about 100 yards and in, and they hit the target every time they pull the trigger, they just think it is the most accurate rifle. They're like, this thing is so accurate.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, okay.
It's accurate
for what it is used for.
Yeah.
It hits the target every time. So people, and it's sighted in. That's the thing, is it's sighted in really good. And so when they pull the trigger and it hits the target, then that's what it is accurate because it's accurate enough.
So anyway, he's a new reloader, and you
so helped him.
Stan and I went to lunch and came back. Taco didn't even know we
By
left.
the time I came back to Stan,
I had a gun bought.
Well, you had already rejected the one they brought you.
Yeah.
And said, no,
No.
I want the one that jumped off the shelf that everybody fondled.
Yeah.
That is the one for me. It's funny because the one that was what it's called, the display model,
Yeah.
it had like perfect, like the stock was centered perfectly with the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
On the plastic stock, sometimes you'll get an uneven distance.
yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be bent.
And there's
to the
not
left,
really
to the
anything you
right.
can do to fix it.
No, because you can undo the action screws and try and push it to the side and tighten it, but it goes back.
Yeah. So,
You just need to heat it up.
Yeah, sure.
you know what? And I don't have time for that.
Yeah, but
And,
it's
and honestly, you shouldn't have to do that
Yeah.
when you're buying a new gun.
That's true.
So it was just funny because like I came back and you had rejected the first gun, and so they were pulling out the second one for King Stan.
No.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's cool. Gunny's is a great store. They do
want
a
you to
good
be
service.
happy.
Yeah.
So, that's what it took.
Yeah. So Stan, let's talk real quick about our shooting activity a few weeks back, where we shot for 8 hours straight.
It was arduous, but fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, we
So we sighted in several guns. I had two friends there. One of them was a young gun owner. So he had built his first AR-15. I helped him build that, and we helped him sight that in. And the other one he's an immigrant and became a citizen, and he wanted to get a gun. So I helped him build his AR-15. So we helped him sight in those, and he was really quite happy with the ability to shoot and hit targets.
No, I didn't see his AR.
Oh, you didn't?
Did he have that there? I got there a little late
Yeah.
because of a very interesting story, but
That you're not going to tell us?
Yeah. Actually, when we went, was that with the Russian?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So we're talking about two different guys. He bought one of my AR-15
Okay.
pistols,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
and his had a really nice barrel on there. It was I can't remember the name. Seekins Precision. Yeah, I got one of those at NPS.
At MPS. Yes,
And it was
gonna
like
say.
I think it was a $250 barrel, and I got it for like $70 or something.
Wow.
But so he lucked out on that build because he got it cheap.
It was
and
an SBR. Or was it a
shooting
pistol? It was a
is a pistol.
pistol.
And he was with iron sights. We sighted in his iron sights. He just had some Magpul, the little backup iron sights.
Yep.
Sighted it in, and he was grouping really small groups with that one. And yeah, he was shooting iron sights at 100 yards on a 6-inch steel plate or something,
Yeah.
and hitting that. So he was doing pretty good with the iron sights.
Well, and see, that was kind of a consistent theme for him too. He had true to his roots. He had a
The Mosin
Mosin
Nagant, yeah.
and an AK,
Yes.
and they're all iron sights.
Why wouldn't he?
I know. Yeah, well, that it's pretty cool, and maybe it's a
Not an AK, he had a SKS.
SKS. That's right,
SKS,
Yugoslav. It was the Yugoslav
Yeah.
SKS. But yeah, he shot it pretty good. Did well. And it's really cool how you. I don't know how many times you've shot with him, but
I've shot a decent amount.
you
with
take a lot of people out, Taco. I've never seen anybody take more people shooting. Truly, and there's a lot of time spent helping them shoot.
Yeah.
And going through their stuff, sighting things in. I sighted in a few things. I had my 6.5 Grendel that I needed to sight in, and I had the 6.5 Grendel AR. I had a 20-inch barrel AR 6.5 Grendel, which I still need to get more brass for that. I can't find it.
You did get some ammo from me, which was
Yeah, the brass. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Hornady stuff. You
Yeah.
sold that to me, and so I'll be able to empty that, and that'll augment what I have. But I only have about 100 rounds.
you have
100,
that
maybe
little
150 now.
bolt action as well as
The Howa Mini action. We
Yeah.
were shooting that, and that was so fun to shoot out to 500 yards.
yeah.
and it wasn't bad. The only and it has a detachable box mag.
Did we suppress that one?
Yes, we did. Yeah,
We put on which suppressor did we use?
direct threaded it.
Oh, yeah, that was the Q Full Nelson.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one sounded great
it
with
did.
that suppressor.
It did, and was it No, it was my 308. My point of impact really changed, but the 6.5 didn't, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Maybe the size of the hole. It was a 308. The Q. Right?
The suppressor is a 30 cal suppressor.
It's a 30. Okay, yeah.
It sounds really good.
Didn't
with
need Air Pro.
subsonic,
Yeah.
like 30 cals, like 300 blackout.
And I love that mini action. I really do. But why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do AR mags? It's the same size of mag.
If they, those actions would be like 100 times more popular.
They would sell like hotcakes. I think I only paid $289. Does that sound right, or was it $389?
That was back when Brownells was doing some good sales.
Yeah, that's where I got it.
Yeah.
Really a cool gun. Have you shot it yet?
The
6.5 Grendel.
Yeah, the Howa mini actions.
Oh,
They're so much fun.
It is, and I have an AR in that as well.
Think if Ruger did, a Predator and 6.5 Grendel with the box mags.
I'm surprised they haven't.
That would be,
to be honest.
That'd be pretty killer.
Yeah.
And they should probably do it in 6 arc as well.
Yeah, if you do one, you might as well do the other.
Yeah.
It'd be the same magazine.
It's the same magazine, same bolt face, and
we'll see how hot that 6 arc goes. I've got one built. Haven't loaded it yet.
Did you shoot mine?
Your 6 arc?
Yeah, I think it would have been a couple times ago.
I don't think I have.
But I'll bring that next time we go.
Yeah.
That one, I loaded up some varmint loads with the 58 grain Hornadies.
Okay, yeah.
And it was awesome. It's going pretty fast.
So I understand that some people are competing in PRS with the 6.5 because it's very similar to
Not the 6 arc you're
It's
talking.
the 6 arc, really?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. Well,
My friend Kenny's
doing it.
Yeah, he
Competing with it.
It's funny because he's been converting 6.5 Grendel brass, and so people will look at his brass and they're like, "What? You're doing this with a 6.5 Grendel?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah,
Ancient Chinese secret.
yeah." But he's getting some pretty good velocities with that 6 arc cartridge.
I've seen some of his videos, but I didn't watch it. I've seen him doing some.
Yeah, I had him throw together It's on the 6.5 Grendel mini action. He put a 6 arc barrel on for me.
Kidding.
That's my rifle, and that's what I've been shooting.
Now, is that one in the MDT chassis?
Yes.
Then I have shot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
That is cool.
Yeah. We also took the Grand Power 10mm out.
Kind of an interesting gun.
Yeah. What did you think of it? With that rotating barrel.
Yeah, very much like the Stoger. Anyway, it's a rotating.
Stoger?
Stoger has the rotating barrel as well, but
Are you talking about the Beretta?
It's Beretta Stoger, same thing. It is the Beretta
PX4.
PX4, yeah. Sorry, but the top of that, the treatment of the slide is very.
So you don't like the little
the round,
machining?
How it's round.
It's round, but has little flaps.
Yeah, but it's kind of rough. It seems rough to me. Like
I was thinking the opposite.
Unrefined.
See, that's kind of how I felt about it too.
So you would have felt
overly
like if it
refined.
But if you look at take it apart, the machine work is
on the inside.
It's exceptional.
Which is, that's a metaphor for life, I think.
But I think they did a really good job on that.
Trigger's nice. Grip's nice. It functioned flawlessly. 10 mil is a nice round. I mean, I'd feel very confident with that in my holster if I were out hunting.
Yeah.
Exposed to.
And that's the one I got not the lady type.
No. I'm sure that it'd work on the lady type as well.
And it was funny because we did that. I brought a couple different 10mm out to kind of compare.
Oh yeah.
So we had the Glock 20, which is like holding a brick, and then we had the Rock Island Armory, the 10mm 1911. And they were all really different. I felt.
I think I like the Grand Power. I've shot your the Rock Island before. And I would like to get into 10mm as well.
The trigger,
I like the Grand Power.
The trigger on a 1911 is always just going to be better than anything that's double single or or striker fired.
But then you have to decide if that's the setup you want, if it's something that you're going to carry also.
Yeah,
because it's
a single stack mag.
It's a single stack mag,
like 7 or 8 instead of 14.
It's got a manual safety that you have to manipulate.
Yeah. It was funny. We set up a bunch of jugs, and then 3 of us shooting at the same time, just to blast them all at the same time. it was funny. My friend Oleg, the Russian, he just he was shooting the Glock, the Glock 20, and just shot all, how many rounds? It was like 14, something like that, 14, 15 of 10 millimeter, just blasting as fast as he could. And but I was taking a little bit longer to aim and hit something about every time when you shoot. But it was a really good 10 millimeter day though. Yeah. And what was crazy is you shoot the 10 millimeter a bunch, and then I picked up the dagger. And it felt like I was shooting a 22, and I could hit everything like with follow-up shots quickly.
That's interesting.
Nice.
And what did you think of the PSA dagger?
I really liked it. Yeah, for the money, I don't think you can do any better.
I agree.
Think they just released a full-size one.
They did.
In 9 millimeter.
Yeah.
And now on that one, I wonder if it's a full-size, like
17.
if it uses the same size of upper, like the slide and everything.
The same length.
Or if it's just the lower that's...
No, it's got a longer length.
So it's
longer
on
slide
both?
as well. Yeah. It's full size.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Somebody was just
I was
telling
looking
me
at
that
it, and I saw an email from them, and I think it costs more than the...
You could... Well, yeah, I would think it would cost more, but you could just put a 17 size slide on the 19 frame.
Yeah,
that would work unless the bottom of the slide is gonna
maybe it's a little
mesh
different
up.
or something. Yeah. But I was gonna say I've been singing the praises of that dagger for a little while, ever since I got it.
Yeah, well, I've told my daughter about it, and I think that would be a good one for. She does a lot of exercising stuff like that. Had a guy stalk her in Spanish Fork, walking one of the trails, and she came.
What was his name?
He didn't talk much. She just came home and said, "Dad, the weirdest thing just happened, and I want to," because she shoots. And, she said, "I want to get something to carry."
Yeah. And, the dagger's a little bit on the big side for carry, but
depends on who you are and your lifestyle. But
I suggested the P365.
Yeah,
so that's what I would go with too.
A better one for carry.
Not the small one. The small one.
I would go with the smaller one.
Not the XL.
Not the
yeah.
Well, I have both and I carry both, but for
her
most
to be able to...
women and your daughters are tiny, the smaller one would probably work better.
Certainly a better carry option.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, obviously a full size with a red dot and a suppressor.
Well, yeah,
with the suppressor,
yeah,
or just an AR,
or there you go.
But that dagger, I have that Trigicon RMR on top, and it just feels like you're cheating.
It does
when you can shoot follow-up shots. Once I have the sights co-witness with the dot, so it's right on there. And was it you or was it one of the other guys? They were saying that they were having a hard time finding the red dot, and I said no, just use the iron sights, and then if you see the dot, then you could use that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And once I told him that, then he was able to shoot a lot faster because he kind of used the iron sights as like a base.
Quicker. Yeah.
You just got to practice with the red dots, and then after you shoot a little bit with them, then you get the hang of shooting with them, and it makes it a little bit easier to be faster.
Can I throw a little plug in here? Stephanie, a while ago, gave me a Mantis training system.
I've had a few customers that have run those.
I had it for, a year or so, something like that. Mm-hmm. I finally broke it out, and I got to tell you, it's awesome.
Is that the one that mounts on the rail?
Yeah, and it tracks your trigger movement and all that stuff. And the most critical point is your trigger manipulation and
Is it? Do you use it with live ammo?
An app? No,
okay.
No. It's just a dry fire, so you still have to dry fire, and cock it every time. But as far as working on your trigger, I saw a marked improvement from not doing anything to using it. So that's a really good idea to.
Yeah, and that was interesting too with the two guys we took shooting that day. Oleg, he's been shooting for a while, but handgun shooting, probably doesn't shoot a ton, and the other guy, is kind of new to. He's younger, so you can't buy a handgun until you're a little bit older, 21 or 19 if you live in Utah and you buy from a private party.
Yeah.
But helping him, he's shooting to the left, maybe a little low to the left, and
Slapping
explaining, when he's pulling the trigger, that's what is happening, and just working with them on their trigger pull and their grip and trigger pull, and helping them to shoot better, and they did improve over that 8-hour time.
yeah. and that Mantis would be just ideal for that. It would be perfect for somebody that's just new doing it. So.
It's interesting too, because like even with the red dot and dry firing, you can see how much you're moving.
Oh yeah.
And say you stick like a little bore sighter laser in the barrel, and then
that'd work too.
And then you focus on your trigger pull and see how much that laser is like flinging around.
That's true.
The laser sometimes is it's hard because you realize how shaky you are, even when you think you're holding it pretty still.
Right.
And it's just flipping around.
Have you taken one out and shot at night?
Yeah, I have.
Isn't that a trip?
It's so fun.
Totally cheating.
We did the IDPA a couple
That
of
night
times.
shoot, yeah.
I mean, it's totally, you could stick it around like that.
I got to a point where, all you're doing is looking down range at the target
and
just pulling the trigger as fast as you can and hitting bing, 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 bing. It was great.
We should do a night shoot sometime, and like I have a couple of these cheapy green lasers, but it'd be fun to mount that on my 9mm SBR or something, so we could shoot some steel with just set it up at like handgun distances and do like pistols and little 9mm PCCs.
Yeah, Jason and I were talking about today while you were teaching reloading. We were talking about
when we were at lunch,
setting up a couple of stages to improve our proficiency as far as
do some moving and shooting.
Moving and shooting.
When we go out to shoot.
Yeah.
I
mean, I love long range static shooting too, but it's a perishable skill.
It is.
When we were doing the classes with Mass,
right,
and IDPI, I felt way more confident carrying.
Yeah.
That I could at least defend myself.
Yeah.
Run and get behind a rock.
I still feel confident carrying, but probably my confidence is higher than it should be.
Confidence and competence don't always match.
Yeah.
True.
So
it
would be good for us to get used to that.
One of the local ranges here does
fun shoots.
They do fun shoots twice a month. I'm gonna start going to those.
What days do they do?
A Tuesday and a Wednesday, and I don't remember which ones.
Dang.
Which it's like the first Tuesday and the third Wednesday or something like that. I don't know.
Do you guys have pistol caliber carbines?
No,
Yes.
not yet. I need.
What do you got?
That 45 AC.
Oh yeah. Have you shot that much or not really?
Not a ton, but yeah, I've put a few hundred rounds through it.
And Stan, you don't have anything?
I need to build one.
A
I think I'd
9mm
go 9.
AR,
I think I'd build
or
mine.
even that little AKV, man.
I'm more AR. I like
Okay.
the ergonomics and shape and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who shoots that little AKV, they just fall in love with it. And the AR 9mm.
Yeah.
So, I've been collecting a few different ones.
So we did shoot some 308 as well.
Yeah, we shot your 308 out to 500 yards.
Yeah.
And what else?
We shoot? We shot everything.
Yeah, we shot so many different things.
How long? What time did you get up? 3 a.m. to load all that stuff
About
up?
that.
And you purposely didn't bring everything.
Oh
this time.
yeah, I left a lot of stuff.
So you do a lot to take people shooting. That's very admirable.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
shot a lot of handguns though.
Yeah. Do we have time for me to throw?
Oh, we
out
shot
the-
my Beretta PX4 in 40 cal.
Yeah.
That felt like a baby. Like I mean, just it felt
After
like
the
a
10?
20. Yeah, after the 10, it felt so smooth and like hardly any recoil. It's just funny. We started out with the 10, and then we went back to like 9 and 40s, and everything felt like you could just shoot it so well.
I'll have to shoot your Storm because I don't have a very good opinion of them, but I've never shot one either.
Yeah, it shot.
Tommy had
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
He loves them. He
For
loves
a long time.
Berettas, period.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway, good times. Get out and take somebody shooting. Exercise your muscles.
yeah, and it's go out and vote. And I guess
Yeah.
it's probably by the time this is published, it might be too late. But
Maybe.
you should always vote.
Yep.
Otherwise, you have no
Educate yourself.
You have
and
no
vote.
no excuses for complaining. You
Don't-
can't complain if you don't vote.
Yeah, don't be the uneducated voter. Well, I don't know. This guy looks good. I've seen lots of their signs. Yeah, don't be that guy.
All right, well, we're out of time. So, anyways, stay safe, have fun.
And be nice to people.
Yeah, and take somebody shooting.
But this one was still produced before this one.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mine's newer. Mine's better.
Mine's
His has more experience.
experienced. It's been fondled by more people.